Hey guys, Chris from HobbyTown Chat TV here. One of the big questions that we get in the store a lot is what type of glues to use for different projects, whether it be modeling, miniatures gaming, wooden models, bunch of different stuff. So I thought we'd do a quick rundown of the main types of glue that we carry here in the store. So all of this right here is a super glue, or a CA glue for cyanoacrylate. Everything from here over is a plastic glue, which is used specifically for plastic model kits. Super glue can be used for a little bit of everything. Now the main difference is super glue is a contact glue, which means it takes two things and glues them together. Whereas plastic glue, again, specifically for plastic model kits and stuff, actually melts the plastic together. So it's a whole lot harder to break than it is where you break a contact seam with super glue. So let's start with super glue. Now we have two main types of it. We have normal super glue, which is these down here on the end, and we have foam safe, which is used for styrofoam, mainly in like RC airplanes and things like that. But it comes in a couple different varieties, usually a thin, a thick, and a medium, and that's just the viscosity of the glue itself. Thin is like a water type consistency, thick is more of a gel, and medium right there in the middle. It's a little bit more runny than the gel, but not as runny as the thin. And they also make that again in foam safe, and it, as well as the others, comes in a thin and a thick. And that means your drying time. So your thin is going to dry just in 5 seconds or so. Your thick takes a lot longer, about 30-45 seconds. The medium takes, 10-15 seconds. And one thing you can help to speed that up, if that's still not fast enough for you, is here. This is an accelerator, also known as a kicker. Basically, you just spritz it onto the glued areas and it dries just like that. Now, if you glue something that you don't want glued, or in some cases, if you spill it all over your kitchen floor and need to clean it up, that's where this comes in. This is a debonder. It breaks down the glue, lets you pull those pieces back apart. So that's covering mainly all of the super glues that we have here in the store. Now let's move on to plastic glues. Now again, plastic glues are designed mainly just for plastic model kits and miniatures gaming. Anything that's plastic you can glue together with. So there's a couple different versions of that as well. You have the old standby, which is just the normal old tester stuff. This has been around for decades. And it works just fine. But the main problem with it is it has quite a big nozzle on it, so it's hard to get into tiny little places. Most people that use this squirt it out onto a paper plate or something, spread it around with a little toothpick to get into those areas. But most of the other glues kind of alleviate that problem. So we start with this one right here. This is our main go-to glue. It's the good stuff. It's got a metal nozzle on it, so it's really hard to get gunked up. And if it actually does, it comes with a little metal wire in here that you can unjam it with. This stuff works very, very well. And we have the Testers version. That was made by Model Master. This one is made by Testers. Again, pretty much the same thing with a few slight differences. First off, it's got a plastic tip on it, and this plastic tip can actually be cut down however far you want it to make the nozzle bigger. With the metal one from Model Master, you can't do that. Basically, the size you have is the size you get. But the Testers one works just as well. It just has that different type nozzle on there. And then you come to this one, which again is made by Testers, and it's specifically for clear pieces. If you're gluing airplane canopy, model car window, that kind of thing. Lastly, we have these two right here. Now these are a super, super thin water type consistency, sort of like the super glue over here. They're going to dry very, very fast, whereas the other styles over here are going to take a whole lot longer. But basically you have two main styles. They work the same way. This one is going to have a big, almost like a nail polish type brush on it, whereas this one has a very, very fine tip little brush for lots of detail stuff. So for bigger areas, for smaller areas. And finally, we come to these two right here in the center. Now this blue one right here is just the non-nasty chemical-free version of the red stuff right here. And it takes about twice as long to dry because it's the same formula, but it doesn't have all the good stuff in it. And lastly, this green one right here is for metal and wood. So metal to metal, wood to wood, wood to metal, all different versions of that. So that's pretty much it. I hope this helped you guys determine what type of glue you need for whatever type of project you're working on. Just keep that in mind. Remember, plastic glue specifically for plastic, CA glue for pretty much anything else. So I hope that helps. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.